Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Jon Killoran joins us. He's running for Washoe County Commission District 2 against incumbent Mike Clark. He's here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity and every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
The Road to Riches leads straight to the Carson Valley Inn. Cash drawings Thursday and Saturdays. Over 480 winners. Score up to $15,000 weekly. Plus one $10,000 cash winner and the $20,000 guaranteed grand prize giveaways. Free meals, free play, and more. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're delighted to welcome to the program Jon Killoran. You've been on before.
Yeah, in a different format, talking about Winter Olympics and news in the past.
Yes. We should point out right away, you're running for Washoe County District 2 against the incumbent Mike Clark. But we should definitely put out there that you and I have been friends for close to 50 years, which is pretty stunning. Yeah. When we first met, I was doing the weekend weather and reporting for KOLO TV in Reno.
And I was an intern in the sports department with Bruce Breslin.
But you came out and shot video for me on stories on the weekends.
I did.
So that's where we first got to know each other. So it goes back a ways.
Yep.
First of all, why are you running for Washoe County Commission? Let's start there.
Well, I it's something that's always intrigued me, but my career path, whether it be the sports and being a news director or then running the Winter Olympic Games, precluded me from being involved directly politically because I had to be bipartisan or objective in those careers. I'm free of those things now and have the ability to do something. And at this stage of my life, I just want to do things that are good for our community, create good community policy that allows people to live their best lives. And I, in particular, am one of 5 generations of my family that have now called Reno and Washoe County home. So it's also a legacy thing to leave for my daughter, my grandchildren, and then to do the right thing by the community. I think it's time that we really turn the temperature down in politics as best we can and realize that what we're there for is to the betterment of our lives, really protecting our tax dollars and making sure they're accountably spent in the right places. And that's why I'm running.
All right. Let me pick up on a couple of things you just said. So no more winter games, trying to bring the Winter Olympics to Tahoe?
Alas, the one thing that could beat us happened. Enough time went by that the USOC wanted the Summer Games first. It took them a while to get Los Angeles 2028. By the time they did, the Salt Lake City folks who had been supporting our bid versus Denver felt, well, 2034, 32 years after we hosted in 2002, why don't we just host with our more modern venues? And that was the one thing we really couldn't overcome. But the process of going through that, we've hosted world championships now in sports in this state, junior national Olympics. The public-private investment on that was about $1.5 to $2 million. And we've brought back over $30 million in economic impact, social impact, and a lot of good things will still come of going after the games, but in 2034, they will be in Salt Lake City, and we wish those folks the very best.
All right. Now, also, one of the things that you did in a way to support yourself in that position, because it wasn't really a publicly funded position, was you took on the sport of curling, which has now become huge. Are you still doing that? Because you were putting on huge events at the Orleans and Las Vegas. It was a revenue generator.
Yeah, 2 world championships, world men's championship, 2018 and 2022, 4 other elite events, so 6 in 8 years. Certainly, we're still going to be involved with that. There's a bit of a lull in that right now, which is good for me because my 100% plus is in this campaign. But yeah, I think there will be a future still. We like to think we help bring ice sports, including what the Vegas Golden Knights have done down in Las Vegas, to create, again, great revenue and social opportunities, not just here in Reno and Washoe County, but throughout the state.
If I could just get you involved in esports, that would really complete everything.
You know, there has been some discussions at the time we were talking about, but esports is almost unto itself. The Olympics tried to come in, IOC tried to come in and get involved with, and there's been some co-involvement, but yeah, esports is definitely a worldwide phenomenon that is very popular, especially in Europe and the Asian countries.
And it should be huge here. It drives me nuts. Hugh Van Loo is a young gentleman that works for the legislature as a legislative assistant during session, and he's been a huge promoter of this across the state, done a fantastic job. Mm-hmm. And you know, we've had people on the program talking about how if you had the esports at Allegiant Stadium, not only would you fill Allegiant Stadium, this was Ben Kiekefer talking, not only would you fill Allegiant Stadium, but you would fill every other convention center in Las Vegas at the same time.
Yeah.
We are missing out on this huge opportunity, and I do not know why. Maybe it's because somebody said in this program not too long ago, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, maybe you should break it and fix it.
And that's part of the reason that I'm looking at getting into this position. But I agree with you. And there's actually just been a pretty big turnover, and new people I've known and dealt with in other jurisdictions, other cities, of sports marketing and events that are now part of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority sports marketing team. I'm excited to have
This is the new lady that just got
Janice
hired.
Burke. I've known her for a long time. She was with the Houston Harris County, did so many great big things down there with the city of Houston and bringing major events there. I'm actually quite excited to see Janice joining the LVCVA team. I think she's phenomenal, and I look forward to rekindling our past relationships as we've met at various sports conferences over the years.
Yeah, Steve Hill was very excited to make that announcement just a couple of days ago. So let's talk about Washoe County. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we've talked about it on this show many times now, is that all the jurisdictions are facing a lack of C-tax or an increase in C-tax to be able to pay for the functions that we currently have across the state in cities and counties. As you look at this as it pertains to Washoe County, it's not affecting the county yet, but we've got to be in the planning process for this.
And I couldn't agree with you more. If you see the paraphernalia that I hand out as I'm campaigning, the first word I use to describe myself, and it's not branding, proactive. Sam, you've been around me. I don't like to sit back and wait for something to happen and react to it. And so you're exactly right in your assessment, and we have to look at that. One of the things that I'm very interested with the budget, and first and foremost, is that the public has access to the county budget on an immediate basis through the Washoe County checkbook. You can go online if you have, whether it's a specific interest you have in a specific part of the budget or the budget as a whole, the public can now go in and look at that. So that's important because that's education. I feel that we do have to right now look at and prioritize. We have to get back to what is it that local governments are really involved in providing. And it's not my answer. Sure, I've been a 46-year resident here, 28 of them in the same house now in District 2. But I'm listening to people as I go out and talk with residents and voters, and they're speaking the priorities: strong public safety, emergency management in the wake of such things as the Davis fire, or even near where I live at Rattlesnake Mountain, that brush fire last year. They're talking about real use and common sense of our dollars. So what I would want to see is, and I think some's being done already, and I would certainly jump on with that when elected, is prioritizing those parts of the budget that are absolutely essential, and then going down the scale, so to speak, so that if we ever do get to the point where we are reaching that breaking point of deficit or otherwise, we now know where we have to look, where we have to trim, because I'm a lifelong Republican and I'm fiscally conservative. If we have a problem, we're going to have to look how do we curb back our spending first before we look to any kind of increase of any kind of taxes whatsoever.
I was just reading in the Reno Gazette Journal this morning about a new amphitheater that they're looking at for Rancho San Rafael. And I'm thinking to myself, with every jurisdiction looking at financial problems, it's a great idea. But where does the money come from? It's like every time I read a press release from our senators and Congress people, and it could be any state, so I'm not just blaming Nevada.
No.
But we're bringing home $10 million for this, we're bringing home $5 million for that, $1 million for this. Where's the money coming from? Because we're $38 trillion in debt, and it's going north. This war is going to cost likely another $200 billion, which is a fifth of the budget for the military that doesn't include the black budget for this last year. We don't have this money.
And here's that's the theme, right? That's an example at the national level of a theme. And the theme is that government has, over the decades, figured that deficit spending isn't a problem. And to bring it back to what you brought up about the amphitheater Rancho South Front, look, I hosted the JO National Cross Country Running Championships, 3,000 kids out there back in 2018, the last time we did it. We did it a few times. That park is wonderful and has so many things, and I am a firm believer in the arts. My daughter was raised going to ballet and the Philharmonic and all the wonderful things that we have for the arts here, and I'm a proponent. But that's the latest example. There was one last year, and it was to bring an art installation up from Las Vegas. And the county agreed to give $500,000 to that because the feeling was it was going to bring a lot of tourism and stuff like that. And I get that. But again, what I talked about earlier, prioritizing spending. If it's that important, if it's that big, there are a lot of people here in this area and throughout that love coming here for the arts. Why can't we invest and do a capital project in the private sector for such things and have public-private partnerships where this county provides land like it did for the Reno Ice Arena or other entities like was done with the Moana Pool, where the public provides the land at $1 a year for 99 years, but the private sector comes up with the investment in something that will build the arts here. And that way it's almost much more of a community project than just a government handout.
What do you think about TIF financing? Because you've got the Grand Sierra putting together $1 billion project, and it's going to include a huge arena. You've got the J Resort that is looking to spend $1 billion plus. They own 200 acres in downtown Reno. Are you okay with TIF financing?
I think it's a case-by-case basis. You have to look at what is the project going to do? What will it bring to the area? Look, we've been through this before. And to this day, I was walking and talking with people last week, and somebody brought up the tax incentives that went to Cabela's and why developers, back in the day, and we've been here long enough that back in the day means a lot of years, is that, developers at times would develop a new community or neighborhood, and they donate a school, they donate a fire, they donate the equipment to go in the firehouse. But a lot of those folks are now concerned because then a lot of other projects came in that were given some really significant incentives to do so, TIF, tax incentives, things like that. And now they're looking back and say, well, wait a minute. What are they doing in the community for all this effort? So I think, again, what I would be in favor of is looking at those at a case-by-case basis, but also then what, other than the project itself, can that developer bring to the table that, again, enhances all of the quality of life and things that we have and services that we have here in the county.
Well, I think the two examples I mentioned are obviously involved in that right now. And I look back because I love Debbie Smith, former state legislator. I thought she was a wonderful person, but she and I got into it over the sales increment taxes for Cabela's and for the Legends Project and for the Summit Sierra Project. And to me, this was bare land driving no revenue. And now you have hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs that were created from those three projects, lots of sales tax. And eventually those properties will end up paying the taxes that go along with that. I don't see the benefit of bare dirt and no development versus, giving a tax break to companies. The only thing that irritated me with all of those was when Target moved from outside of a tax increment district into the tax increment district to save money. That it shouldn't have happened.
And that's, as you bring up, it's like, look, I'm excited from my sports background with the arena that's going in front of the Grand Sierra, Mr. Marullo, and that project, and that being the crown jewel of the entire project he's talking about at that property. I'm looking forward to the fact that the Wolfpack will be playing games there, the men's basketball team. I'm looking forward to the fact that there will be other things that probably come in there, both as regular, probably professional team sport, as well as the special events that will bring that are not available to this community right now because we don't have a modern, with amenities, arena in town. So those things are beautiful because they do exactly that. They add to everything you just listed in terms of the community benefit in its use, and then the community benefit in terms of the financial gains it brings to hopefully the property, obviously, and the business person who's making the investment, but also to the community as a whole through increased tax dollars.
Okay, so what do you do with Lawler? Because, I mean, the bag on Lawler is that you can't upgrade it to the modern facilities that are required for sports arenas these days. But for many years, major touring acts, musical acts, Prince, for example.
Elton John.
They played for a week or two prior to their concert tours to break in their new acts. And then Reno got the benefit of a concert from those major acts. Can anything be done with Lawler to bring it up to date?
I do think that some of the university sports are still going to play there, but to bring it up to date, we dealt with it in the Olympic bid. When Lawler was built, it was very utilitarian. Early 1980s, it was very utilitarian arenas being built with no real amenities. It was just to put them there. That wasn't just in Reno, that was in a lot of different places. Interestingly, the floor of when we were doing the Olympic bid, the floor of the arena could not support a rink. It wasn't wide enough. So already it's limited in some of it's had some Holiday on Ice events there over the years with temporary ice, but you don't need a full hockey rink to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes of Lawler Event Center. I'm sure obviously the university has a stake in this, Board of Regents. Certainly have not heard of anything planned for it. But I also do know that there were infrastructure issues that were coming along. And again, it has served its purpose for 40 years plus, but it's not necessarily one that bodes that same amenity that you're going to see now in a modern arena on the Grand Sierra property.
All right, we're going to take a break, but right before we take the break, I want to mention that Mike Clark is the incumbent in District 2, and I'm going to call him today and invite him to be on the program, and then hopefully after he does that you guys will be able to debate.
I hope so.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
It's a good time to eat. It's a good time to play.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good times are tamarack.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Jon Killoran. He is running for Washoe County Commission, District 2, against the incumbent Mike Clark. I wanted to ask you about Sue Wagner. She passed about a week or so ago. Just an incredible person. Sadly, she never appeared on Nevada Newsmakers. She appeared on other shows that I have done over the years, but not on Nevada Newsmakers. She had major injuries from a helicopter crash. Would you like to share what she did for our state, which was incredible?
Oh my gosh, what a pioneer, and what an amazing human being. It was unfortunate because I feel that crash cut short that political career.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
She could have been the first female governor.
Absolutely, without question, and I think was on a trajectory to do so. That crash is meaningful to me also because there were others in it that we know that survived through the time, and I've reached out to them, last week when the announcement was made. But she was truly genuine. I mean, I like to say as I'm walking around that home is Reno, home is Washoe County, and home is Nevada. And in every way of home is Nevada, Sue Wagner exemplified that every day of both her personal and professional life.
We'll take another break and we'll be right back. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Warren Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Warren Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Jon Killoran. He is running for Washoe County Commission in District 2. One of the number one things that has come up as you have walked around the town, or District 2 at least, talking to constituents is the Washoe Cares campus.
Yeah.
What are you hearing and what are the concerns?
Well, the concerns are, and people should be concerned when a lot of money is spent, one, to build the capital project and then to operate it. Certainly, we had to deal with this, the homeless situation. Just from a compassionate standpoint, you want to help. And then when the county takes on what it's taken on, from a financial standpoint, you want to help. And when something starts brand new, you're going to have evolution of processes and procedures. And I think now, after a couple of years, we're seeing that. There's a sequential intercept model that's being put into place. And what this is trying to do is when you're dealing with homelessness, often you're dealing with mental health issues. And rather than overcrowd our jails through arrest, we're now looking at doing compassionate care at the county level, looking at using crisis teams instead of just law enforcement. You know, there is a competency court that has been started by Washoe County District Judge, Chief Justice Egan Walker, and it's 2-3 years into its being. In that 3 years, it has saved taxpayers nearly $10 million through faster court appearances for competency, and then better treatment. And after, before that started, it took an average of 141 days for someone just sitting in a jail on competency to court go through. $70,500 spent on that person just sitting in a jail. Now through the jail's mental health unit, specialized, through the competency court, and through this SIM, the success rates are amazing. In the last couple of years, it's a 93% not recidivism rate of being rearrested, because they're getting faster treatment, solid treatment, and they're clean and sober when they get done with it, oftentimes, if that isn't an issue, an addiction, and they're returning, becoming productive members of society. And I'm really excited about programs like that maybe taxpayers don't see, but that means the county, everybody's got to do a better job of telling people. And that's one thing. Look, I'm in the communication business from our background. I will always let constituents know what's going on a regular basis.
Okay, just really quickly here, because we've got about 45 seconds here. Yeah. There are accusations that Sacramento is busing people over the hill to utilize the services. Is that true?
Look, that's been age old, and it probably, again, I have no to say yay or nay, but it's age old that's been said like that. Bottom line is, when they're here, they have to be dealt. We can't just say, well, you're from Cal, we're going to leave you on the street. And that's what these programs are doing. However, I believe in the years since numbers were reported that were put out about a year ago, that those numbers, I'm now told with the new reports, are significantly diminished.
And by the way, I will point out that from a historical perspective, back in the late 70s when I came to Reno, there were stories of people from Reno being bused to Sacramento and people from Sacramento being bused to Reno. So
absolutely,
it ain't a new story.
Not
Jon Killoran, pleasure to have you on the program, sir. I'm going to have Mike Clark on, your opponent, who's the incumbent.
I would hope so.
If he will agree to it, and then hopefully he will agree to a debate with you as well.
I would be happy to do so. Thank you, Sam.
You are always welcome, and we'll be right back.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience. Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Sponsors are needed for the Greenhouse Project's annual Grateful Harvest Dinner, taking place Monday, September 21st at Nashville Social Club in Carson City. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. For 17 years, the Greenhouse Project has provided agricultural education for students and fresh produce to our community's food insecure. Every dollar you give helps us continue this important, life-changing mission. Go to CarsonCityGreenhouse.org to learn how you can help. Join us in growing a lasting legacy.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. We'll see you on the next broadcast.